What's up, folks? I just wanted to record this video. It's been a while since I recorded something on YouTube, and this video is just really around the state of health for the average person and how it occurs to me. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and that's based on just life experience. I don't have a certification right now. You don't see letters behind my name, and at the same time, just based on different health challenges that I've experienced, mainly gut related, because most issues are related to the gut, leaky gut syndrome, and from that you have issues like autoimmune diseases, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, lupus, et cetera, et cetera. And it's largely from eating a diet, the standard American diet, which is largely just a degenerate diet, for lack of a better way of saying it, in the sense that most of the food has been corrupted. And a lot of the research I've done over the years has just had me, even before all of this stuff happened, that's currently showing up right now with the COVID situation, has really kind of had me wondering, is there any hope? I mean, really? Because it seems like to me, a lot of people don't want to do the work when it comes to taking on their health and eating healthier, getting related to their food, where it comes from, buying foods when they're in season, doing more of your fermented or foods, you're more of your soaked and sprouted nuts and grains, which makes them more digestible, because it gets rid of the anti-nutrients and the phytic acid and things like that. And at the same time, because most of us have been so corrupted, taste buds being one of those things that's been corrupted, a lot of us just don't want to do the work. And sort of like the 80-20 rule, 20% of the people do 80% of the work. And I'm pointing to myself as I'm saying this. So, you know, I had a young lady that's in this program that I'm in talk about how, on my Facebook page and a lot of things, she sees me making people wrong when it comes to their health choices. And it has nothing to do with that at all. I'm just pointing out what's occurring in the world, you know? And I've been one of those people that's contributed to that because I haven't been willing to do the work at times. And a large part of that is it ain't rocket science. I'm saying in many ways the same thing over and over again. That's why at times I'm like wondering to myself, do people even get it? Does anybody even care? Because it really is very simple. It's about, if you can't grow your own food, support local farmers. I just learned about regenerative agriculture or regenerative farming, if I'm saying that correctly, from Dr. Zach Bush. And an article I just read about glyphosates and how pervasive they are in society from like Roundup, the company Monsanto that was sued. And then the guy won the lawsuit because it was actually linked to causing cancer in him from using the Roundup product. And you still see it on store shelves because they have so much money. They're so corrupt. They can pay off senators, congressmen, whomever, or possibly even worse, just to make sure that their product stays on the store shelves, because it still comes back to money, and how does the saying goes? He who holds the gold makes the rule. And a lot of these people that own the gold are definitely not people and or corporations that have any type of scruples, any type of conscience, any type of morality. They don't care about the fact that they're poisoning the soil and contributing to people having a compromised immune system. That's the bigger point to it all. So yeah, there's the COVID conversation that we're in right now. And at the same time, when you consider the fact, when you look at historically speaking, from the onset of the Industrial Revolution and how more and more people fell for the okie doke and they stopped, making more of their own food. They stopped growing, pulling food right out the ground and making it themselves and turn that over to the major corporations. That was the beginning of the end for most people and most families. And I hate to say it, but in many cases, it's not going to get better for a lot of people because a lot of people don't want to do that work. They don't want to, get related to, if nothing else, just the simple process of making more of their own meals at home. That in and of itself is a game changer. And if you can take it to another level and start growing some of your own food, and or if you can't do that, support and buy local, buy foods when they're in season. It ain't rocket science. It's really basic fundamental stuff. It's just that we've gotten so much into this conversation of being consumers to where that takes us out of what it means to be a producer and really knowing what it takes to get that food to the table. That's why, and historically speaking, families had a much greater appreciation for what they had because they knew the work, the time, the sweat, the labor that was put into producing that food that's on their table. And now, you have so many people that have no concept. They're not related to where their food comes from. You have children thinking that vegetables come from McDonald's, for God's sakes. So, the state that we're in right now is pretty tough. And that's like the first chapter of my book. The book on healthy living is there any hope? And that's partially why at times I've wondered, why do I even, what's the point in recording a YouTube video? What's the point in keeping my Facebook account open? Because most of these folks don't seem to care. They seem to just be more comfortable in the space of just sitting back and observing the action as opposed to being a player in the game and making the game work more effectively for themselves and their families and their communities so that we can live long and prosper. That's the goal, right? I would think that would be the goal for most folks. And it doesn't really seem like that's what's going on right now. So, the best I could offer is take some of the things that I've mentioned in this video and start implementing them into your life, because that's going to make the difference. Make sure that you're getting adequate amounts of iodine. Just read an article on that about the importance of that and how that's actually been it's been linked to actually helping to normalize hormonal imbalances in the body, because typically if there's a iodine deficiency, that's something to deal with the thyroid and the thyroid gland being compromised. And most Western doctors don't even know how to adequately diagnose how to treat the thyroid gland. And that's what they talked about as Dr. David Bronstein, who I actually have a couple of his videos that I got from him years ago on iodine deficiency. And so when you're talking about people that have cancer, it's even been linked to helping to minimize the symptoms of diabetes and other issues as it relates to the thyroid and things like that. Is vitally important. So find a reputable source that you would trust, and make sure you're getting in your iodine. If nothing else, get it from your food. Radishes are high in iodine. Get you some organic strawberries if you can. Get them from a local farmer. Those are high in iodine. And so it's always best to get your nutrition from food sources in nutrient-rich soil that ideally has not been compromised or contaminated by glyphosate and the far-reaching effects of, all of the stuff that's been done to our soil because of companies, like Monsanto with their genetically modified crops. So take care of yourselves, folks. Know that there is hope, and it still boils down to one very simple thing. Ain't nobody coming, and it's up to us. If we want a better life, if we want our health, if we want to have any chance of really being able to live a long, healthy, and prosperous life, it starts with us and doing the work by being good stewards over what we have and thinking the right thoughts. Always thinking positive. That's the most important thing, even in the times that we're in. Keeping an empowering context about what's possible in life, and at the same time making sure that we're preparing our meals with love and we're doing everything we can to reconnect with nature. Take care of yourselves, be well, and all the best of health to you.